We have the most amazing weather today. Wait for it. Wait for it. We have 13 Celsius. The weather today is glorious. Of course, we know what that means. That means lots and lots of people will go out into their gardens and make lots and lots of noise. We have a beautiful day here in the birthplace of the English language. You know where it is, I know where it is, we all know where it is. Of course, it's England. Let's go. We are back together again. I'm so glad to see you here. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling happy? Do you have a smile on your face? I hope so. The sun is shining in the sky. It is a beautiful day. I was going to go outside to do a live stream, but unfortunately everyone, all of my neighbours have decided to go outside and cut their grass. So it's a little bit noisy outside. Sadly, I am in the studio, but I can guarantee that there will be lots of sunshine coming from my live stream today. I hope you are having a good day. It is, of course, Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. This is a great way, maybe the best. This is the greatest, I would say the best way to learn English on YouTube. I really think so. My name is Duncan. I talk about English. You may have guessed that already, and I love the English language. By the way, yesterday, I was very busy yesterday filming a new lesson. Did you see it? Also yesterday, I suppose I should mention that yesterday was Pancake Day. And guess what I have here in the studio right now? Oh, look at that. I have some lovely pancakes. They are hot. I've just put them in the microwave. They are covered with butter and lots of syrup as well. Lots and lots of golden syrup. They always say you should never, ever eat when you are live on YouTube. Apparently it is the worst thing you can do. If you eat live on your stream, apparently lots of people will stop watching. How can I resist? How can I resist these delicious pancakes? Because yesterday was Pancake Day. Did you do anything for it? Did you have any pancakes? I'm going to have a little bit of my pancake right now, although it is red hot. Oh my goodness. By the way, apologies if you are fasting at the moment. I would imagine you are shaking your fist at the screen saying, Mr. Duncan, don't you know it is Ramadan at the moment and I can't eat anything? Wow. Oh my goodness. Welcome to a new section of my show that I call Watch Mr. Duncan Eating Food. That is delicious. Did you have any pancakes yesterday? I've got some now. Look at that. Delicious. But these are no ordinary pancakes. These are blueberry pancakes. So they have little pieces of blueberry inside as well. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. These pancakes are great. They're great. They're great pancakes. They're the best pancakes. You've never seen pancakes like this before, ever. They're the best, the greatest pancakes. Oh my goodness. I know what you're going to ask. You're going to ask, Mr. Duncan, did you make those pancakes yourself? I have to say now, while I try my best not to choke on my pancake, I have to say these are not homemade. These came from the supermarket, but they are very nice pancakes, I have to say it. Oh my goodness. Should I eat the other half? What do you think? Please say yes or no if you want me to eat the rest of my pancake. There it is, another half. Ooh, look at that. That is absolutely delicious. Lots of butter, lots of syrup, and of course it has to be hot. You have to heat the pancake up as well, or else it doesn't taste very nice. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see you here. I will try to distract myself away from my pancake by saying hello to the live chat. It would not be English Addict without you on the live chat. Who was first on today's live stream? Oh, very interesting. Hello, Beatrice. Beatrice, guess what? You were first. You are, in fact, first on today's live chat. The other problem with eating when you are trying to present a live stream is that you get covered in sticky things. So at the moment I have lots of butter, lots of syrup all over my hands, and now all of my equipment is sticky, and there is nothing worse than sticky equipment. There is not. I find it very hard to handle if it is all sticky. Also we have Vitas. Vitas, I can't believe that you thought that this pancake, because there's only half of it left now, I can't believe you thought that I bought this from the Spar shop. No, this is from Waitrose. Oh, Mr. Duncan, fancy pants. So these are pancakes, blueberry pancakes, and I think I might spend the rest of today's live stream talking about how delicious they are, because they are. In fact, I would say my pancake is perfect. We are talking about that subject today, being perfect. What does it mean to be perfect? That is what we are talking about today during the live stream. Also, we are going all science fiction in a few moments. We are talking about something that once again is in the news, connected to science and I suppose also biology as well. That coming up in a few moments from now. Hello, Sivan. Hello, Sivan. This is Duncan's fan. Hello, Sivan. Nice to see you here. Thank you very much for rejoining me. Also, we have Duc An Vu Lee. Hello to you. I know where you are watching. You are in Vietnam, I think so. Also, we have, oh yes, he is here. We are talking Luis Mendez. is here today. If there is one thing I love more than having a hot pancake, it must be having a hot croissant. And I am looking forward to sampling a lovely hot croissant when we are in Paris in June this year. And guess what? You will also have a chance to meet up. We will be all together having a super rendezvous on the 1st of June in Paris. Hello to Anytime. Hello, Anytime. I suppose I should say ni hao because you are watching in China. Hello, China. Sadly, I don't have many people watching in China due to the fact that YouTube is blocked. And because of that, so am I. Can you believe it? After all the things I did in China, after all the work I did teaching English in China, and what thanks do I get? I'm blocked. But hello to China anyway. I'm so glad you've managed to make it through the Great Firewall of China. Very nice. Also we have Amumu Chun is here as well. Thank you very much for watching. Where are you? I wonder. What's up, Mr. Duncan? You look aged and weathered. You would as well if you'd been doing this for 18 years. That's all I can say. If you had been doing this on YouTube for 18 years, you too would be looking quite weathered. Who else is here? Can I say hello, Flower? Hello to Flower. It's nice to have you here as well. Who else is here? Alexander. Today is not only the Muslim fast, but also the beginning of the Catholics' Ash Wednesday. Yes, because that always comes after Pancake Day, or as many people refer to it as Shrove Tuesday. So today is Ash Wednesday. And of course that is when everyone has their big final meal before they start fasting as well. Normally Lent will follow, and that is the period when people will give up something they love. For example, perhaps you want to give up eating pancakes. Sadly, I have to say, unfortunately, sadly, I cannot give up my pancakes. We are 17 minutes into today's live stream, and so far all I've done is eat pancakes. I promise there will be some teaching coming up in a moment. Oh my goodness. Alexander says, I am addicted to pancakes. Well, guess what? So am I. So yes, I've made my confession today. This is not homemade. But you know what happens quite often? One of the things that we do in society, if we go round to another person's house and maybe the other person is putting on a lovely meal for us to enjoy, quite often people will lie. They will be untrue about whether or not they made the meal themselves. So some people will pretend to make the meal fresh. However, what they've really done is they've bought it from the supermarket and they are pretending to have made it at home. So at least I am not pretending to have made this myself. I got this from the supermarket. And guess what? I have 3 more in the kitchen. So as soon as my live stream has finished today, I am going into the kitchen and I think I will have another pancake. I think so. Come on, Mr. Duncan. You are really being unprofessional today. Have you ever done that? Have you ever hosted a dinner party and you've pretended to cook all of the food yourself, but in fact you got it from the supermarket? Of course, these days you can have fresh hot food delivered to your house straight away. So you could, I suppose, order some food over the internet and have it delivered. And then when the guests come, you can pretend that you made the food yourself. It is something people often do. Of course, the only problem is you have to keep it a secret, because once they find out that you have lied about it, once they discover that you did in fact buy that food from the supermarket, you did not make it yourself, they will probably never speak to you ever again. We are now going into the world of what some people refer to as science fiction. Here is an interesting subject, something that I heard on the news yesterday. A lot of people are talking about this particular subject. I've just realised there's something I need to do here. Just give me one moment and I will correct something that I should have put right. There we go. Here we go. Have you heard of the science practice of cloning? Cloning? Oh, Mr. Duncan, I can safely say I have never, ever talked about cloning, ever, on my live streams or even in my lessons. I don't think I've ever talked about it before. And as you can see there on the screen, there are lots and lots of Mr. Duncans. Can you imagine what the world would be like if there were lots of me walking around? Imagine all the fun you could have on the internet. There would be lots and lots of different versions of this live stream, and some of them might even be good. They might. I make no guarantee. So the word clone can be used as both a verb and also a noun as well. So clone, in its general sense, is to produce a copy of something. You are reproducing something and you are making a thing that looks like the other thing, or maybe it has some of the characteristics of another thing. So when we talk about clone, in this sense, we are using the word as a verb. It is to produce a copy of something. Of course, it is possible to clone anything, I suppose. Maybe if you print a photograph, maybe you make a copy of something. Maybe you reproduce a perfect copy of a particular thing. We can say that you clone that thing. Nowadays, of course, a lot of people are finding that their smartphone has been cloned. Someone has they've stolen the information from inside the phone, and now they are using the phone, and all of your secret codes are also being used as well. So the word clone means to produce a copy. We often think of something that is being reproduced. The thing produced is a clone. So something that has been produced is described as a clone. It is the noun form of the word. So in that case, we are talking about the actual thing that has been created. So, clone can be a verb, to do it, to make a copy, and of course the thing that is produced is also referred to as a clone as well. Of course, we have the thing that a lot of people have been talking about over recent times for various reasons: genetic cloning, genetic engineering, some people refer to it as. So if you are genetically cloning something, you are copying that particular thing using its DNA. So that is what is going on there. To copy a living creature is to clone that thing. And over the years, many scientists have attempted, and quite often they have succeeded, in cloning an animal. Here in the UK, way back in the 1980s, we successfully cloned a sheep. I know it sounds like something from science fiction, but we actually did do it. We cloned a sheep. Can you remember, if you know about this story, can you remember the name of the sheep? I wonder if you know the name of the sheep, the clone of another sheep that was successfully produced way back in the 1980s. I wonder. Oh, okay. Palmyra, that is very good. Already, Palmyra has answered the question. The sheep was called Dolly. Yes, you're right. Dolly the sheep. The first ever sheep, and I suppose the first ever living animal to be fully cloned. An exact copy. And quite often they use genetic engineering, types of scientific procedure where they can reproduce another animal or a thing by using its DNA. Of course, if you have read a lot of science fiction, you will know that there is such a thing as human cloning as well. To clone something is to copy. And of course, many people think in the future, perhaps, maybe, there will be human clones. There is a problem with that, of course, because if you made lots and lots of Mr. Duncan, if there were lots of me walking around, they would not be me. So that is one of the common mistakes that they make in science fiction. Quite often they will clone a person, and then that person will be a copy in every way, including that person's character, their memories, and all of the things that go with that person that makes them who they are. So that is always a big problem with science fiction. Of course, as we all know, if you clone a human being, it will not be that person. It will just be a human being. And quite often they will have no idea of who they are. They will have to learn in the same way as I did. So they will have to experience their own things in life to become who they are. But I always think it is a big mistake whenever you see science fiction. Quite often people think that if you make a clone of a human being, it will be that person. But of course, it won't. It is just another human being, just like Dolly the sheep wasn't the exact same sheep as the one that was cloned. So a human clone, something we are not doing yet. Some people are rather pleased with that. Some people don't like the idea. They don't like the thought of playing around with these things. Some people call it playing God. Scientists sometimes have to play God, or they want to play God. They like to have control over the way science and even certain things such as human beings, how they progress in the future. Of course, there is always a good side to everything. There is a bad side and a good side. But if you are using genetics for medical research, of course, it can be very helpful. It can help detect certain illnesses or diseases. So nowadays, because of genetics, we can often find out if a person is likely to develop certain illnesses or certain diseases, and they can then find out how they prevent themselves from getting those things. So genetics, and also, I suppose to a lesser extent, cloning. At the moment, it still doesn't exist with human beings, so we haven't cloned any human beings yet. But as I always say, who knows what will happen in the future? Who knows what the future holds for all of us? Can you imagine that if there were lots and lots of me around? I don't think the world is ready for clones of Mr. Duncan, to be honest with you. English Addict is with you today. It is myself, the one, the only Mr. Duncan. Just one. There is only one of me in the world. For now. Who knows, in the future it might actually be different. We are looking at being perfect in a few moments from now. How to be perfect. Something that is perfect or pure. We are looking at the quality of something, whether the quality of something is very high quality. So quite often we will use the word perfect to mean high quality, or even the best quality. Talking of which, you are watching my perfect live stream on a Wednesday afternoon. This is English Addict. boy now. English Addict is with you today. I hope you are having a super duper Wednesday. We are live. A lot of people ask, Mr. Duncan, are you live? Are you really live? Yes, I am. Right now, Wednesday afternoon, we are already 5 days into March. How has March been for you? Alexander says it would be fine with me if the world had clones of George Clooney. Or should I say George Clooney? I apologise for that joke. I am very, very sorry for what I just said. English Addict is with you. We have the live chat. If you want to say hello on the live chat, don't be shy. Give it a try, or else you will make Mr. Duncan cry. Lewis says, as the world population is decreasing, it is true. Yes, apparently a lot of countries now, their population is dropping. They're not having any new human beings being hatched out, unfortunately. So I don't know why that is the case, but I'm sure there are lots and lots of different reasons. But yes, the population of the planet is apparently dropping. So we might find that there are more clones in the future. Hello, Romulo Castillo. Very nice to see you here today on the live stream. Big subject today, all about being perfect. A lot of people say, Mr. Duncan, you are the perfect English teacher. So that's not what I think. That's what you think. That's what you tell me. So I should, I suppose, believe what you tell me. If you are telling me that, I should believe it. Here we go. Words and phrases connected to being perfect, or, as it says here, almost perfect. We will look at that later on, that particular meaning. The word perfect refers to something of the highest degree of quality or satisfaction. So if you are talking about satisfaction, if you are looking at the degree of quality or satisfaction, if it comes up to the highest point, we can say it is perfect. It is at the top. The adjective form of perfect relates to the absolute high quality of a thing. Anything, something that is perfect, can be a thing, an item, something you buy, something you see, something you experience. There are many ways of using the word perfect. That thing cannot be improved or made any better than it already is. To say that something perfect is perfect, that thing cannot be made any better. It is perfect. It is at the top. For example, and here are some simple examples, you can have a perfect day. We've all had perfect days. Maybe if you are meeting up with your friends or relatives, maybe you go off to visit a place. Maybe you have some fun with your friends. Maybe you have a certain celebration, such as a wedding or a birthday. We can say that particular thing made your day perfect. A perfect day. Maybe a perfect meal. I'm sure we can all think of a time in the past where you've had the most amazing meal. Something that you've eaten, something you've had that was excellent, perfect. That was a perfect meal. It was absolutely gorgeous. Sometimes when you go to bed, perhaps you are very tired, like I was yesterday. I was so tired last night. I slept like a baby. I slept like a log. The perfect sleep. A sleep where you are able to rest, relax, and when you wake up, you feel fully refreshed. I like it. The perfect sleep. Maybe, perhaps you are looking for the perfect person. Ooh. I wonder, does the perfect person actually exist? I wonder in this world. The perfect person. Quite often when we are looking for a partner or someone to spend our life with, we will look for someone who is perfect. Is that a good idea though? Is that a good idea or a bad idea? If you are looking for a lover, someone to take care of you perhaps, is it possible to find a perfect person? And then of course the perfect gift. Whenever you buy a gift for someone, sometimes it can be a nightmare. I will be honest with you. If ever I have to buy a gift for Mr. Steve, it is always very difficult to decide what to buy. So you might find that you need to buy a gift for someone. Maybe they are getting married or it's their birthday. You find the perfect gift. Moving on. The appearance of something or the quality of an object can also be described as perfect. Something that appears perfect. It is perfect. It feels perfect. It was perfect. It looks perfect. It smells perfect. Rather like my pancake that I had at the start of today's live stream. I have to say, that was the perfect pancake. It was very nice. Excellent even. If something is almost the best or nearly acceptable, we will sometimes say that it is almost perfect. It's almost perfect. It's nearly perfect. So it isn't perfect, but it's very close. It's very near to being perfect. It could have been the perfect meal. It wasn't, but it could have been. Very close. Something that is not quite perfect. So it looks all right. It feels okay. But it's not quite perfect. Maybe you are buying some new clothes and you go into the shop and maybe you see some clothes that you want to try on. And you put them on and then you look in the mirror and of course sometimes you might be a little disappointed. So you might say, oh, it looks nice, but it's not quite perfect. That means it doesn't suit me. Those clothes are not suitable for me. It was great, but not perfect. Something you enjoyed, but you don't rate that thing very highly. So it is possible to do that, you see. It is possible to do that. If something is great but not perfect, it means you enjoyed it. It was good, but it was not perfect. A perfect thing is splendid. Something splendid is perfect. A great thing, something you enjoy, maybe something you experience. Something is splendid, superb, wonderful, wonderful. I had a wonderful time yesterday when I was filming my lesson in the garden. The weather was lovely, the sun was out, the birds were singing, and everything was really nice. You might say that yesterday was perfect for going outside. Something is up to standard. If something is described as up to standard, it means it is high quality. It will meet that level of expectation. Of course, we can also say high grade as well. Something that is perfect quality, very good quality, high quality. We often say that it is high grade. Perhaps material that you are using to make something. Stainless steel, perhaps. You want the best material to make your things with. So the steel, the stainless steel must be high quality. It must be high grade. It needs to be perfect. Then, of course, something can be pure as well. Something pure is perfect. It has no contamination. Nothing is spoiling that particular thing. It is pure. Something might be described as exquisite. Oh, now there's an interesting word. Something that is exquisite. You might go to a dinner party and you describe the food as being exquisite, perfect, very high quality. Something also might be described as top-notch. We often use this in British English, and also I think in American English it is also used. Something that is top-notch is perfect. It is of the highest quality that exists. Top-notch. Luxurious. Maybe if you go to a hotel and the hotel is lovely inside, very comfortable. Maybe you are going to Paris to meet me, and perhaps you stay in a lovely luxury hotel, maybe 4 stars or even 5. Oh, very fancy. Something is luxurious. And of course we can also use the word impeccable. Impeccable. Something impeccable is perfect. It is the highest standard. Impeccable. A very interesting set of words on the screen there. It is often stated that making a comparison using perfect is not acceptable in English. So in the English language, using perfect when we are talking about comparison, quite often people will say that that is wrong. You should not be using perfect as a comparison. For example, words such as more, most, nearly, almost, and rather, they can all be used with the word perfect to say that something is almost perfect. It is nearly perfect, but it is not quite perfect. However, these days it is often accepted in general daily conversation. For example, you might say that something is more perfect, almost perfect, nearly perfect, quite perfect, rather perfect. So not exactly, especially if you are comparing two things. You are comparing one thing with another thing. That comparison, when you are using the word perfect, probably, in many people's opinion, shouldn't be actually used. But in fact, you will be pleased to hear that it is perfectly acceptable to use perfect in that way. A thing that is convenient, yes, or useful can be described as perfect. Something that is useful, something that is suitable for a certain task. So a certain tool can be perfect for carrying out a certain job. For example, this tool is perfect for removing old wallpaper. There are many useful things you can buy if you are doing a big task. Maybe you are doing some home improvements. Quite often there will be certain things you can buy to make that job easier. You can say that thing is perfect for that particular task. In this sentence, this tool is perfect for removing old wallpaper. The method or way of doing something can be described as perfect. This is the perfect way to boil an egg. So quite often anything we are doing, anything we are asking someone to do, quite often we will want it to be perfect, the way in which something is done, or in this case, the method of doing something. So what is the perfect way to boil an egg? I'm sure you'll have your own ideas about that one. A person who is good at something or has a good manner can be described as perfect. He is a perfect student and always listens in class. I've noticed from my experience of teaching directly in a classroom, quite often you have perfect students who will also always answer the questions. They are always attentive. They will also always listen to everything you're saying. So you can have a perfect student, a student who is always well behaved and they always listen to everything you say. He is a perfect student and always listens in class. A person who is good at something or has a good manner can be described as perfect. Maybe a person who has a particular skill. Maybe they are very useful for doing a certain thing. They are good at a certain job. She is a perfect secretary, as she always reminds me of my important appointments. She is a perfect secretary, as she always reminds me of my important appointments. She is good at her job. She is valuable because she does her job very well. A person who is good at something, they are perfect at doing that particular thing. Something can be described as being perfection. As a noun, The word perfection is a noun. That meal was perfection. You are saying that the meal was perfect. Amazing quality. It was amazing, amazing quality. The best meal I've ever had. Her singing was perfection. She is singing a song and she sung the song so well. Her singing was perfection. This plan is perfection. Let's do it. Maybe an idea, maybe a plan that someone has. This plan is perfection. I approve because it is a good idea. The plan is perfection. A person might try to reach perfection as their goal. A person might try to reach perfection as their goal. Something you want to do in life. You want to do it perfectly. And I was asked earlier if I find that I still worry about perfection, even though I'm a very, very old person. Well, I suppose I do. I always like to think that I'm still doing things as well as I can. And sometimes perhaps I worry too much about it. I think I do. I think sometimes I worry too much about perfection, especially when I'm talking about my work. So I always like this. I always prefer this to be as perfect as possible. So yes, to answer your question, I think I still do. I still worry about perfection. I still worry about it. They want to achieve perfection. To aim for perfection is to do one's best to reach the top. So I think it is always a good thing to have. If there's something you wish to do in your life, something you want to try, or maybe you want to learn a new skill, perfection should always be the thing that you aim for. I think it is a very healthy thing to want. If you can't reach perfection, then perhaps you will have to settle for second best. Something that is second best is not perfect, but it is very near. It is very close to being perfect. So the perfect thing is not available. So you will take second best. Second best is not bad, but it can't be described as perfect. Something that is second best is not perfect. There might be some small problem with the thing in question. The state of something might be described as perfect if it is as good as new. So maybe you are selling something. Perhaps you have a car that you have had for a long time. You have had it for many years. You have taken very good care of that car. And now you've decided to sell that car. I'm selling my car. It's in perfect condition. That means the car looks amazing. It performs without any problems. It is a great car. You are selling it and it is in perfect condition. A person might also describe themselves as being in perfect condition if they are fit and healthy. A person who is fit, healthy, in good condition, you have perfect health. You are in perfect condition. The opposite of perfect is imperfect. Something that is imperfect, something is not good or is not of high quality. So in that sense we are talking about the opposite. The opposite of perfect is imperfect. It is something that is not perfect. Perhaps it is not good quality. This car is not perfect as it has some deep scratches on the paintwork. This car is not perfect as it has some deep scratches on the paintwork. The paint on the car is badly damaged. The car is imperfect. It is damaged. The word perfect can also be used as a verb, as an action, to work hard so as to accomplish something. And in this sense, we often pronounce the word differently. So instead of saying perfect, you say perfect. Perfect. You try to perfect something. You are trying to become not just good, but perfect at what you do. You want to perfect the thing you are doing. I will perfect my acting skills whilst appearing in some local shows. That's what Mr. Steve said many years ago. I will perfect my acting skills while appearing in some local shows. So the way of becoming good at something, you have to perfect that particular thing, something you are trying to do. You might study hard so as to perfect your English. A thing you are working hard at doing. You are trying your best to be good at that thing. You perfect your English. They say that practice makes perfect. To perfect is to do something until you become good at it. I will take a close look at how you pronounce these words very quickly before we go. Perfect is the adjective, perfect. Then we have perfect, to perfect something as a verb. And then we have perfection, and that is the noun form of perfect. In grammar, perfect is a noun meaning an aspect or other verb category used for an action or state that is not or will be complete as a thing done at some point or some point of reference in the future. So when we talk about perfect in grammar, we are talking about something that will be done, is being done, or was done. Putting it very simply. You will do something, of course, that is in the future. You are doing something now, in the present. You have done something in the past. Those are all perfect tenses. Things you have done, you are doing, or will do in the future. And I suppose a good way to end, if you can't be perfect, sometimes you have to second or settle for second place or second best. So if you can't be perfect, settle for second best. It is hard to find the perfect thing, whatever it is. If you are looking for a nice new pair of shoes, you are looking for the perfect pair of shoes. You are looking for the perfect place to eat. You are looking for the perfect companion to spend your life with. All of those things are very hard to find. As we say in English, Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. They are not perfect. Mr. Steve. Okay, yeah. I think Mr. Steve is almost perfect, to be honest with you. Everyone who lives around here is not perfect. Some of them are very imperfect, to say the least. Even you, watching out there in YouTube, even you are not perfect. But of course, we all try our best every day. Whatever it is we are doing, we always try to be perfect. Even if, quite often, we fail. But at least we tried. And that is the most important thing of all. It's almost time to go. It's almost time to say goodbye. We might talk about perfect tense on Sunday because it is actually an interesting subject. Thank you very much for your company. I will see you again on Sunday. I am back on Sunday. Mr. Steve will also be here. I'll be here. Steve will be here. Something will be happening on Sunday. We have 2 hours on Sunday to have fun and enjoy ourselves. By the way, just before I finish, very sadly, you may have heard the news last week that, well, I suppose when you think about actors, when you think about people who've been in different films over the years, I don't like to hear about people who I like watching in movies or on television. I don't like to hear about them passing away. I always find it rather sad when it happens. One of my favourite comedy stars at the beginning of last month passed away. It's very, very sad. And of course, last week, Gene Hackman, incredible actor, passed away as well in rather strange circumstances. But if there is a film that you want to watch with Gene Hackman, I can suggest a film called The Conversation, made in 1974. A brilliant movie. If you get the chance to see it, it is a fine movie. Francis Ford Coppola was the director, and it is a very good movie, all about living in a state of paranoia. That's all I'm saying, because I don't want to spoil the movie. But if you get a chance to see it, made in 1974, it's probably available somewhere on a streaming service, and it is a really good movie. And I think it would be a nice fitting tribute if we all sat and watched at least one Gene Hackman film, because he was a terrific actor. Thank you very much for your company. I'm back on Sunday. See you all later on, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I will be here on Sunday, and Mr. Steve will be here on Sunday as well. This is Mr. Duncan, that's me by the way, trying. Maybe one day I will be successful and I will become the perfect man. Who knows? I always try my best. Thank you very much. See you soon. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Take care of yourselves. Keep that smile upon your face as you walk amongst the human race. And of course, ta-ta for now. I'm going outside now to enjoy the lovely sunshine.